Marina, thank you. Time now for a coffee break, and we're starting with how a simple habit is polluting the planet.
You guys, I get on everyone's case about that, so I'm sorry.
We appreciate it, actually.
Harping on it again.
Yeah, you changed Jamie's habit with your water bottle.
Yeah,
you did. All right, well, here's another one for you. We've all forgotten to take our reusable bags to the grocery store.
Guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been guilty of it as well. Here's what that little mistake adds up to, though. The average American used 140 plastic bags this year, and if you stacked them all together from everyone, that would be the height of an 18-story building. The survey looked into our plastic use, also asked people to rate their efforts to be greener, and only 18% of people gave themselves an A+. Some of the most common improvements: buying more biodegradable products, ride sharing when possible, and using tote bags instead of plastic or paper bags. It's a tough one because sometimes you don't plan on going to the store, so I always just try to leave a bunch of bags and not all inside of each other, so that way you don't accidentally bring all of them into the house at once. Leave us a variety. Also, plastic cutlery, that's a really big one that adds to the plastic pollution problem. So if you just keep that on the go with you, that makes a difference too.
The perspective, really hits home, like how much damage we're doing to the oceans and the earth.
The building would be.
Yeah.
I keep up the plastic bag if I forget. Because I always forget my tote bag. But so I keep the plastic bags in the cart because then you can use them as garbage bags. And sometimes when people get sick, you can use them for that too.
Multi-use.
That's Rutabake's trigger.
Well, when you have kids though, you never know when that might happen.
Okay, let's move on.
Do you find yourself, it's a good tip, I'm just telling you. Do you find yourself reaching for a snack or sweet treat just before going to bed?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, according to a recent study, 60% of people routinely have something to eat after 9 p.m. and go to bed less than 3 hours after taking that last bite. But nutritionalists have strong warnings against this. Several of them told the New York Times late night snacking causes an overall spike in blood sugars and fats and makes it difficult for our body to truly rest at night because it is still processing all that food.
So for us, that's like 5 p.m.
I think so. That's why I wanted to bring this up, because I'm like, what is late night eating for us?
I guess we just adjust it, right, to like when we go to bed.
But I think, if you're not binge eating, then it's okay. If you're having a little snack, you have to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room.
A little treat every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I do find though, if I have something salty, which I'm a salt person, not a sweet person, then I am kind of like hotter and I'm thirstier. And so I can see where, you are spiking something.
Come on over to the sweet side. I don't feel that way after the snack.
Okay, the closest living relatives to humans may have a social memory that's just as strong as ours. Johns Hopkins University found that chimpanzees and bonobos can recognize the faces of old friends even after spending decades apart. We've seen those videos, right, where they run to their old friends. Researchers had suspicions the apes remembered them from years before, and they were able to figure out how far back that ability went by showing them pictures of animals they once lived with and then documenting their reactions. This sets a new record for the longest social memory in a non-human animal, beating out dolphins, who have shown they remember others for as long as 20 years.
Really?
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
I often don't remember people I've met just a few days before, so that is really inspiring.
I know. I hate when people are like, I go, hi, and they're like, we've met before.
I know.
You're like,
You know what's my favorite thing to do? If I'm interviewing somebody and I don't know if I've interviewed them, I say, so nice to see you.
Yes.
So it's like, it just covers all the bases.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
Exactly. That's a good line for parties and social situations where you're just not sure. Nice to see you.
They're like, we met last year.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so this is an interesting story. Guy Fieri, he's so successful, right? He's not planning to make it easy, though, for his kids to inherit his fortune. The reality TV chef recently signed a new $100 million deal with the Food Network.
What?
In addition to the money he already had, right? So he's rolling in the dough. So while he reflected on this achievement, he tells Fox News he does not plan on sharing his wealth with his boys unless they each get a postgraduate education. Fieri admitted he took a page out of Shaquille O'Neal's book, who famously said, if you want this cheese, you have to get the 2 degrees.
I like that.
I do too.
I mean, it's not for everyone, but
Yeah.
if his kids are equipped for it, I like it.
I think there is there's the idea that if you're growing up in a household where there's $100 million in the household, that you're not going to really work for anything, right? So I think, isn't he trying to just instill like you still have to work for something?
Yes, exactly, because he already features his boys in some of his shows, so we've gotten to know them. They're already set up for success, so at least he's making them work for something, right?
Exactly, but is it just the education, or do they have to go out and get jobs after that?
I know, right? And if it's about the jobs, we need more trade. So like make them be
true.
Who cares about the degree? How about get your plumbing certificate or electrician?
Right.
I want to see that happen.
But also it might be about using the money responsibly. Like the more education you have, maybe you're more apt to use it responsibly or invest.
Yes.
All could be true.
Yeah.
That's today's coffee break.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.